Hi guys. I recently went to my dermatologist office with skin sensitivity problems and laid out all of my skincare products and asked her what I should be using. And of all these, she told me to be using one product. And this is sunscreen. Not that I shouldn't be using any other products, but this was the only one that was acceptable. We have to do some serious talking. I'm Cynthia. I'm 65 years old and I have sensitive skin. This sounds like a confessional. But my skin was very sensitive. It was very painful to put moisturizer on my skin at night or anything, basically. My neck was a particular problem. It was beet red, it was painful, it was itchy, and it was actually extremely leathery. I do videos on makeup, skincare, and curly hair. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be alerted when I upload new videos. If you want to know more about what my dermatologist said to shock me, keep listening because you're going to find out more details. It may shock you too. And if you have sensitive skin, you'll learn a whole lot more about what you should be looking for. So let's get started. First of all, she told me to absolutely avoid fragrance, which may not be new to you, but fragrance can come in different forms. If you look at a label, it might say fragrance, but it also may be essential oils from citrus or flowers. But the second thing I had never heard of, and that is propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is a humectant and a hydrator, which is added to a lot of products. And it's not a problem for most people, but for people with sensitive skin, it can cause redness and itchiness and overall sensitivity. As we're going to see, it's going to be added to a lot of products, and it's going to be hard to find products without it. What she suggested is a use test for any products that I had that were not included in our It's Okay list, which was just one, the sunscreen. Add a drop of product into the crook of the elbow and behind your ear. Do that twice a day for 2 to 3 days. And if there's no redness, itchiness, or irritation, then the product is probably okay, given that it has no fragrance or propylene glycol. So that's how I proceeded with a lot of the products. The other thing to avoid if I had redness was tretinoin, retinol, retinaldehyde, and vitamin C, which to me was a huge heartbreaker because that's my arsenal of anti-aging products and I really rely on them, and without them I feel kind of naked. But before I show you which products I use, what the ingredients were, because I did kind of a deep dive into the ingredients of the products that I had, I'm going to tell you how I partially got into this mess to start with. About 1.5 years, I bought the Exuviance Glycolic Peel at Ulta during their 21 days sale, and I thought I would try it. So what happened was I was okay on my face, but it produced a legitimate chemical burn on my neck. I'm going to show the ingredients right now. First of all, we have water, we have mandelic acid, we have glycolic acid. Those are both alpha hydroxy acids, and for most people that is not a problem. And you'll see as the sixth ingredient you have butylene glycol. So what is that? Is it related to propylene glycol? Yes, it is. It's like a weaker cousin. It's often used as a substitute, but it still is problematic. So you have all those ingredients, which for most people are not a problem. For me, it is a problem. AHAs are really good for most people in that they exfoliate the skin, they can build collagen, very, very beneficial. But for those with sensitive skin, you have to really be careful and maybe not use them at all. And also, if you're using them in combination with any kind of retinol, that's a further problem. Actually, I've got a pretty simple AM routine where I cleanse, I treat, I moisturize, and I use sunscreen. For people who have sensitive skin, you do want to make it kind of simple and not to throw in too many products. So I thought I was doing pretty well. And I'm going to go into each of the products, starting with cleansing. The first product I was using in the morning was the Purity Made Simple. And I had heard that this product was not the best, that it might have some fragrance in it, but I had really no idea what was in this product until I looked it up. Anything in blue is fragrance. And you can see that nothing actually says fragrance. They all say there's some kind of oil, flower oil, other kinds of fruit oil. And we also have isopropyl alcohol, which is a very drying substance. There's an abundance of fragrance in this product, even though they're not one of the top 6 ingredients. And by the way, the top 6 ingredients are really the most important ingredients in a product. After that, it becomes less important, but they're still not unimportant. This is a definite no, not ever again. On to the next product. The next thing I did in the morning was I used vitamin C, which is known to be a very good product for building collagen, for restoring the youth of your skin, for fighting wrinkles. Vitamin C is definitely a plus. And for the longest time, I've been using Timeless 20% plus E plus ferulic acid. It's a great product because it is L-absorbic acid, which is probably the most usable form of vitamin C. Plus it has the 2 helper antioxidants, and it's a great price point. It costs me anywhere between $17 and $20 something, depending on when I buy it on Amazon. It is recommended by Angie Hot and Flashy, who I think is marvelous. I've reordered it many times. Okay, what do we see? The 4th ingredient, propylene glycol. Oh, crap. This is out. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to use vitamin C again. I ordered May Love. I've used this before. This is the Glow Maker antioxidant serum. The only difference between this and the Timeless is this does not have propylene glycol. It has 15% vitamin C. This is not a problem for me, so this is what I'm using now. The next thing I was using was coenzyme Q10, which is an antioxidant, which helps build collagen in your skin and is very good over the long run. First thing you have is Matrixyl 3000, and that is a substance made of 2 peptides. And the next thing is Q10. That is an antioxidant, which is very protective for skin, and that's the thing that builds collagen. So this should not be irritating to my skin. Let's look at the moisturizer. Okay, this one is gonna just blow your socks off. I was using It Confidence in a Gel lotion. I always liked it. I thought it was soothing. However, the number of ingredients should be less versus more. 104? That's pretty outrageous. Okay, and what do we have? The second ingredient is butanol glycol. And when I presented that list to the doctor, she circled that immediately. So that was a no-go. Let's take a look what else it has. Okay, it has alcohol way down. If you see something in green, that means that's a good thing. but it happens to be below something called phenoxyethanol. If you see phenoxyethanol in a list of products, that is a preservative, and it's not a bad thing in and of itself, but it gives you a hint what's in the product deck. They don't do more than 1% of phenoxyethanol in a product. So anything you see below phenoxyethanol is going to be formulated at below 1%. I learned this trick from Hiram, and I'm going to link his video below. Gives you a clue as to the percentages because you don't have clues otherwise. So you've got the first 6 ingredients as the most important, and anything below phenoxyethanol is less than 1%. And by the way, they can put ingredients at 1% in any order. Oh, by the way, they had 1 fragrance ingredient in this product. So obviously, this was not going to work. Yeah, I forgot to mention that the doctor, when she was going through her list of things to do and not to do, it handed me this sheet, which is the Vanicream Sensitive Skincare. It says it's free of dyes, fragrance, lanolin, parabens, and formaldehyde. And this is not sponsored by Vanicream, by the way. I ran out right away and bought a couple of Vanicream things. And one of the things I bought was the Vanicream moisturizing lotion. I can't show it to you because I returned it. And why did I return it? Let me show you what was in it. Notice that I circled propylene glycol. I didn't get back to my doctor yet about this, but what's up with that? Yeah, that's right in the ingredient list. I stopped using that right away. So then I started looking for moisturizers with phenoxyglycol or butylene glycol. It was not that easy, but I've listed a bunch of them down in the description box. And the one that I bought and I'm currently using is La Roche-Posay Toleriane Ultra. What I listed in green are some star ingredients. So the squalene, the shea butter, and the glycerin, those are particularly good ingredients for any moisturizer. It's been particularly soothing for my neck. Probably the most important step in your AM routine is sunscreen. That is going to be the most important anti-aging thing you can do for your skin every single day. I already knew that chemical sunscreen was sensitizing. I was using mineral sunscreen, which is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Elta MD UV Elements Broad Screen Sunscreen was the one that I was left with. And I was mixing that with Paula's Choice Ultralight Daily Wrinkle Defense. And the reason I was mixing this was a suggestion from Angie Hot and Flashy, and it was basically just a matter of cosmetics because they're both tinted. This one is a little dark, this one is a little light, so if you mix them together, you have your perfect color. But when she looked at the Paula's Choice, she said, nuh-uh, not Paula's Choice. It has fragrance in it. I'm like, okay. But me being me, I looked for myself. Everything in green is a good ingredient. I could not find any fragrance in this product. I could be wrong. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong. If you know of anything in this that is problematic, because I could not find anything. So I started using it again. By the way, I haven't said yet how you check the ingredients yourself. I have 2 main sources. There are more, but these to me are the best sources I recommend, and they'll both be listed below. Let's look at the PM routine. It's slightly different than the AM routine in that I cleansed, I moisturized, and then I treated. And we'll go through each of these steps. I started with the Inky List Oat Cleansing Balm. I do a 2-step cleansing process. I looked at the ingredients. There are 2 oatmeal ingredients, which are very calming to sensitive skin, so I thought that was perfectly fine. The second thing that I used, and this was kind of a stupid mistake on my part, I have to say, was the La Roche-Posay Purifying Foaming Cleanser. It had fragrance as the last ingredient. Now, it's less than 1%, as you can see, but still not a good idea. And I have replaced it with Vanicream Gentle Facial Cleanser. That one has no offending ingredients. A while ago, I had decided to add some hyaluronic acid into my moisturizing process at night. I bought Vichy 5 Mineral 89, but right in the middle of the ingredient deck is butylene glycol. No good. In the past, I've used Neutrogena Hydro Water Boost, and it was burning. But I must have used the regular one, which has fragrance in it, as you can see, even though it's close to the bottom. However, the extra dry skin has no fragrance in it, so I think I'm going to go back to that one. As you recall, the doctor recommended that if I had any redness to hold off on tretinoin, retinol, retinaldehyde. These are all forms of vitamin A or retinoic acid. Eventually they turn into retinoic acid. And these are the most important anti-aging products in your arsenal. Tretinoin particularly, what I use is for tretinoin is Curology. Tretinoin, it's something that you will communicate with an online dermatologist, and they come up with a amount which can increase over time, which is just right for you. Tretinoin is like the gold standard for anti-aging. It helps prevent wrinkles, it helps address fine lines, and it can even reverse wrinkles. To hold off on this for me and to do a use test, that was painful, even though I've been through this process and I'm back on the tretinoin. Thank God. Not only does this product have tretinoin, but it also has niacinamide at 4% and azelaic acid at 5%. Niacinamide is also great for anti-aging. It is also good for redness. It's good for brown spots. It's a very good product if used at 4 to 5%. Azelaic acid is particularly good at working on bacteria in the skin, which leads to breakouts, which, by the way, I still get at my age. A lot of people are very sensitive to tretinoin, but I've done pretty well, but I cannot use this on my neck. That leaves you with either retinol or retinaldehyde. Basically, your skin has to convert both into retinoic acid, which is tretinoin, or vitamin A, or retin A. They're all the same thing. Recently, I bought Avene Retin AL. That's retinaldehyde because that is closer to retinoic acid. If you buy retinol, that has to make a two-step conversion process where retinaldehyde only has to make a one-step process. But my neck being as sensitive it is, I'm still in the process of testing this out in the use test to see if this is too strong for my neck. You can see where I have it in green, that's where the retinaldehyde is, and that looks pretty far down in the bottom. It only has to be used at 0.05% to be effective. If this is less than 1%, it's still okay. For sensitive skin, you need to be thinking if your products have fragrance, propylene glycol, butylene glycol, and not just your skincare products. You need to be looking at your other products, such as your primers and foundations and other makeup. And believe me, I started looking and they are filled with those products. If you have sensitive skin, it could be a real problem. Give me a thumbs up if you're interested in seeing a video where I explore products that you can buy that don't have those problem ingredients in them. What products have you found affect your sensitive skin? It may not just be these two ingredients. It might be other things as well. Some people are affected by coconut oil and other ingredients. I'd like to hear your comments below. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Please like this video and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.